All right, guys, what's going on? Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to our morning note. My name is Carlos Garcia, founder and CEO of G.A.R Capital. Sorry about the delay there. I was working on the computer, had some issues with the internet, so I went ahead and fixed it up. So we're running a little 8 minutes late this morning. It is 9:08 Eastern Standard Time on a Wednesday, June 16, from a gloomy Central Florida. Good morning, all. Let's go ahead and talk market, shall we? Before we begin, bottom right-hand corner of the screen, click on that little logo, turn on notifications, subscribe to our channel, like our videos. Really do appreciate it as always. The Dow is down about 35 points this morning. NASDAQ is up 25. The S&P is green. Russell 2000 is down 0.29%. The dollar index is flat, slightly red, 90.51. The VIX is down 1.23 at 1681. Gold futures are up 0.21%. Crude futures are finally down a little bit, 0.22%, 71.95 a barrel. Silver futures 0.87% to the upside. Seeing bonds getting bid means yields are down. Let me go ahead and add that quote here. 10-year Treasury yield now, based on what I have, is 1.485. So 1.485 is the U.S. Treasury yield, the U.S. 10-year. I got the actual ticker from online. I actually Googled, searched it, and I just want to make sure that's actually accurate, because that'd be a lot easier to look at than just, 1.489. Oh, this is 1.485. So again, I have 1.489 on my screen. Let me see on, what is this, FinViz? Let me see where I can find if this is the right yield. Yeah, 1.485, wow. So if you want to check out the 10-year Treasury yield, go ahead and type in TNX on your TD Ameritrade. Just move the decimal over 1 to the left, and you have the 10-year yield. So there you go. That's something to keep an eye on. I'm going to move Bitcoin futures down here because I really don't look at Bitcoin futures much. So I'm going to go ahead and move that. Make life easier. Now, I don't know how to click that. Okay, there we go. Don't need this. I'm going to go ahead and just delete this. I don't need mini, micro, or anything like that. That's micro futures, so I don't need micro futures for gold. VIX futures I have up there. Okay, good. What I'm trying to do now, guys, is trying to make things a little easier for me. Let me see if I can. Qs and SPY I don't need. I'd rather have just the future side, but that's fine. We could leave it there. Yeah, that's fine. Worst thing I'm going to have to just do is just kind of scroll down a little bit. So let me move this over here. What I'm trying to do is make it so I have it right here. There you go. And then what I'm going to do is move SPY and Qs all the way down, because I really don't need to see SPYs and Qs constantly. Again, these are some of the things that you should be doing as a trader to make life easy for yourself. Is kind of just move the ETFs where you have an easier sight to see them. And that's what I'm trying to do. So again, there's one thing I usually use the most. It's futures. So not really worried about it. But now I have the 10-year Treasury. I have the 10-year Treasury futures, the VIX futures. So good. So now I have nice and set. So good morning. All right. So we went over the markets, pre-market. I think I was missing the Forex side. Euro dollar is down 9 pips, 121.17. Dollar again is down 23 pips, 109.93. Cryptocurrency falling a little bit here. Bitcoin is at 39,066. Ethereum at 24.47. Dogecoin at 30 cents. Cardano at 150. XRP at 83 cents. So really the big news today is that the FOMC is today. So let's go ahead and take a look at Forex Factory. That's where I take a look for all my upcoming news and everything. And Wednesday, if I can bring up filter, we're going to go and do just United States, USD. And you can just put anything you want. So we have building permits, housing permits, that was already done, import prices. Crude oil inventories today at 10:30 in the morning, that's every week. 2 p.m. today will be the FOMC Fed funds rate. So we don't expect any interest rate change. That's pretty much a certainty. The FOMC press conference is a big deal because that's Jerome Powell speaking, answering questions. What's the number one thing on everyone's mind? Inflation. We know inflation is going to be important. We want to know the tapering. When is that going to change? You know, are we going to, when people say tapering, think of QE, which is the bond buying. Is that going to be taken away? Are they going to ease off buying bonds? So that's what they call tapering. Think of it as a taper fade. If somebody cuts your hair, taper fade, kind of fades out. Same thing. So kind of the key words for today's FOMC is tapering, inflation, stay the course, all that stuff. Inflation targets, consumer prices, that anything inflation regarding is what is basically the key words. That's going to move the market. The assumption is, I think there's two camps. You have two camps. You have one that thinks that Jerome Powell is painted in the corner. It's going to have to address inflation and say, yeah, we're going to have to taper bond buying, and we may have to raise interest rates sooner than expected, but not do it today, as an example. That would hurt markets a little bit. And if that's the case, yeah, we could see a little more downside. Or the contrarian view, which is what I think. I think the Fed's going to say, yeah, the inflation is transitory. This is just temporary. Supply is going to meet demand. Supply is going to meet demand, and inflation in a longer period of time is just going to take time. We're focused on employment, and we're still going to keep our targets. We're still going to keep everything the same. If that happens, expect tech to soar. That's what's going to happen. Gold is going to tank. Not gold exactly. Excuse me. Tech is going to soar, and dividend stocks are going to tank. Not gold. Excuse me. So that's kind of the expectation. So you have two sides. Would I be trading this number or trading this today? No, I wouldn't be doing much today. Maybe set yourself up. You never know. There's one thing I did see was for I believe the 22nd of June. QQQ had tons of volume. I think I had it here. It was June 23rd. I think it was a 347s. There was a lot of volume on it. So I'm keeping my eye on that one. Apple's starting to look good as well. Let's go and take a look at some pre-market movers, and then we'll answer some questions. My apologies for being a little late. AMC Entertainment is down 4%. Sundial Growers, I've seen this many times, down 2. Let's look at the Dow. JPM, again, guys, the banks are taking the hit. Again, that's a good short. I've been waiting for that. So, again, the Fed could change that. So, again, just be careful. But looking forward, after the 18th, I'm looking to go short on a lot of names. Industrials, materials, financials. It's a very crowded trade. Commodities too. So keep an eye. JP Morgan down 0.24%. Boeing's up. Apple's up a quarter point. Nice to see. Nike's up slightly. Ford Motor Company up 0.47%. Tesla down 0.39%. Freeport-McMoRan fell again another 1%. That's on copper. So keep an eye. If you're watching copper, you need to watch Freeport-McMoRan, FCX. ExxonMobil finally down a little bit today, down 0.20 after yesterday's big run. About 3% run yesterday. JD's down, Baidu's down, AMD is up slightly, Moderna's down 1.5%. So that's what it's going to probably be some muted price action ahead of the Fed. So just kind of be careful with that. Let's answer some questions, guys. Short the banks before FOMC? No, I wouldn't short the banks yet. Let's wait for that FOMC. Blue Apron, right? I believe APRE. I think that's Blue Apron. That's the one that I think APRE. Oh, Arepa Therapeutics. I don't know much about this company. I meant Blue Apron. I read something about that. They're up pre-market. I don't know much about them, so I'd be very careful with this thing. I wouldn't probably touch it. Good morning. Thoughts on VTSX? VTSX. Never heard of this at all. Vanguard Total Stock Market. Oh, it's like a S&P 500 fund. Yes, go for it. What do you think about MRO, which is Marathon Oil? Again, energy is still strong. It's a crowded trade, but Marathon is going strong. And TGH. TGH, I don't know much about. Let me see if I can type it up. Texchain or Group Holdings, I don't know much about them, but MRO is a good name to probably trade. Energy may, again, depends on OPEC. Again, energy could be hitting the tail end of its growth. Again, we're in the heavy driving season, sure, demand is high, but again, the supply, the constraints of OPEC. So let's see how inventories do today. That's going to tell us a really big part. If inventories are higher than expected, then you may be seeing OPEC members actually producing more than what they were agreed upon. So again, we've had this before, so just be very careful. I would not get into energy until that 1030 number. What direction are you looking for the market's reaction, FOMC? I believe yesterday's action was, I thought what happened yesterday was going to happen today. So I'm bullish today. So I think the Fed and FOMC is going to say nothing has changed. We're monitoring inflation. But again, the most important thing to us is employment. So we're going to stick to that, and nothing has changed. We're going to continue our bond buying. We're going to continue everything. It's all about employment, and until employment hits a certain number, they're not going to change. And I think tech is going to lead the way up. And I don't think all-time highs today. 4250 is my target on the S&P today. So that's where I'm at. We won't divide stock to tank so we can buy the dip. I don't know what that. I try to repeat that. Yeah, Carmen, good morning. There's mumbles of dollar collapsing. What are your thoughts on that? That's so I've heard a lot of people talking about the dollar collapsing due to hyperinflation. Okay, if the dollar collapses due to hyperinflation, definitely don't want to save money because then that hurts you. But the dollar is still the reserve currency on planet Earth. The dollar is actually green. So again, a strong dollar does hurt growth companies for the most part. But looking at the dollar here on an hourly, you could see 91.02. Collapsing, I think, is a little bit much. But again, you could see below the 50-day moving average on the daily. Really, just a literally head and shoulders pattern for the year of 2021. Was it different back in last year? Sure. When there was more fear in the market and people were saving money because of coronavirus, sure. But again, now the printing and everything like that, the money supply, the velocity, again, the dollar is starting to kind of just tread water here. But at the end of the day, you could see this head and shoulders pattern. But again, it should get to 91.02 for the dollar. So that should be coming up. Let's see, Go-Ed chart. I don't know what Go-Ed is, but it is a penny stock, so I'd be extremely careful. I don't trade them, so trade them at your own risk. SPY calls today or tomorrow. I would not touch anything today. Be extremely careful. The only thing I would say to get into, if anything, that my eyes are on is QQQ. If it breaks 344.01, or possibly the 50-day moving average, which is 343.02, and I would take a look at the 345s. That's something I would watch. I'm watching Apple as well. Apple could be interesting, but don't feel the rush to get into anything at all. If there's a name I've been watching, JPM and the banks, I want to short. You could see this breakdown of this channel here. Really, your target is 152.17. Watch for that price action. Let's see what they get. If you're a little nervous, maybe go till next week. BlackRock buying single-family homes. Thoughts on REITs? I own some REITs through Fundrise. I think real estate's a great investment if you like it. I personally hate real estate, dealing with people and realtors. Okay, my realtor's nice, but dealing with the buying process, I think it's a giant pain in the ass. But again, if you like real estate, go for it. Nothing wrong with owning some REITs in your portfolio. Just make sure that you do your research. So we'll leave it there, guys. Have a great rest of your day. Sorry for the delay again, and we'll catch you later today for the aftermarket recap. Enjoy yourselves. Happy Wednesday. Cheers.